All right. 7 p.m. exactly, and then this is the Newcastle Select Board meeting for Tuesday, February 24th. Calling to order. Is there any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none. You have something?
No, I was gonna say, sounds like none.
Sounds like none. Hearing none. Moving on to item 3A, meeting minutes from the last meeting, February 9th. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Great. Any comments? Discussion?
Looked good.
All those in favor? Passes 5 members. Item 4, public comments not on the agenda. Mal, you good?
You haven't done anything bad yet, sorry.
You saving it? Item, okay, so closing public comments, item 5A, Robinson Road discontinuance, and so this will be something that we're gonna try to get on the annual meeting this year, and looks like we have some letters to send out, some other procedural things to take care of. Kevin, you wanna?
Yeah, we started this process or discussion last year. By the time we settled on trying to move this forward, it was too close to last year's annual town meeting to actually achieve it. So here we are, almost a year later. I want to get it on the radar screen. I have drafted letters that will go to the impacted residents. The idea is to invite them to attend your next meeting so we can have a more formal discussion about a process forward. I think there's a couple arguments, and actually Mel reached out to me today and brought up one. What about telephone poles? So retaining public easement for that, or having a utility easement as part of this. That's one piece to this, and the other thing is Peter and I worked to look at, I had heard that the road ended just past the 19 Robinson Road, but there's no documentation in the registry of deeds that shows that the other part of that was ever actually discontinued. So it makes sense to just fully discontinue the entire thing, or discontinue the entire thing with keeping this small utility easement for part of it, or a public easement. And I think having a conversation with the owner of the parcels next to 19 Robinson Road, that's about what their expectations or concerns are, so.
I can say that the utility lines don't run through,
They don't.
they dead end at 19.
Okay.
Is there a pole in there? Some
Couple.
people.
Yeah.
But utility, this has happened in other parts of Newcastle where I get a call from CNP saying, do you know if we have a utility easement across this particular parcel? It used to be on a road. And now the person who's there claims that you have no rights to be on my perceived property, and so I just want to make sure that at least the utility easement is kept as part of this, and I'll do the homework between now and 9th to figure out what that looks like.
This would come on to a town meeting.
The annual town meeting.
Are we having one this year?
You are, it's a secret ballot.
Yeah.
The annual town meeting is simply a
Okay.
secret ballot.
So they just want to get that clarified then.
Select board decides what goes on secret ballot. If there are things you don't want on a secret ballot, then you'd have your open town meeting portion of it.
Okay.
But currently, we're proposing to put all of the items
Right.
for voting as a secret ballot item as part of the election at the beginning of June.
Yep. Okay.
That's it. I've drafted some abutter letters that are included in there, or along with a memo kind of explaining some of this. And yeah, if you want me to send those out, we'll send those out.
I expect I need to recuse myself from this vote.
Looks great.
Motion to approve the butters letter. Drafted.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Awesome. Okay, any discussion further? Okay, hearing no discussion, all those in favor? There's 4 members with 1 abstention. Motion passes and. Item 5B, special town meeting warrant, so because of our cancellation last night. For the special town meeting, we're gonna move this. We're combining the ambulance question onto the other special town meeting warrant, so now we have 3 questions to vote on. Including moderator, so anything else we want to add to that description? Any questions on this?
No, I didn't see I didn't look at the last minute for the.
I just sent, yeah, I just, a few hours ago, I just sent a revised version of this warrant out to the
All right,
agenda distribution group.
There shouldn't be anything new, I mean, just combine.
The language is the same, only thing I did was
Consolidate it.
3 and 4,
yeah, which were all the other, the ones we had last time.
which were supposed to be last night's decision, but because of the cancellation. And my conversation with our attorney, you can't really postpone a town meeting. You
Yeah.
have to either previously call for a rain date in that document, or you have to essentially scrub it and call for a new one. That's the cleanest way to do it anyway.
Well, we have to do another one anyway.
Right, so I figured we could try to address all 3 matters, the 2 bonds and the update to the agreement with the joint ambulance service. So I have that revised version printout here with me.
One.
Uh-oh,
Little
okay.
grammatical, but we can just leave it alone. It's my editor coming out. They- Whoever changed the document crossed out then and put than, and then is correct, then is not correct. I hate that.
I do too, where was that?
Section, so on the clean version and in the packet here, it was page 27. D, and it was the last sentence of D, section D on page 27. I mean, it doesn't change anything. We can let it go if it causes a pain to correct it, but
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to let that one, wait, I did tell them to change that. I did tell them to change
okay,
that.
good. That jumps out at me. It's like we
I know,
wrong
yeah.
there.
When we met, I met with the,
Yeah, I was saying, I get some nods.
I know. That was supposed to be a change, so it might still be feasible to change that one.
Yeah, I mean, if not, then
Oh, well,
We can approve it with changes because it's de minimis.
right.
yeah,
Oh, they're in their editing version. That they had dropped in the word town twice, so town.
Yeah.
So I was helping them clean up a bunch of those things and I mentioned the than, but I guess. Didn't get translated. Okay.
What do you think this motion should be? Because we don't really have a record of what happened, unless you know that the meeting was canceled. So
You're just gonna set the warrant as drafted
as drafted,
for March 20, it's drafted or amended.
can we say amended?
Yep, as amended, and this is the amended
Yeah.
version.
right, so then we need the motion to be to set the warrant as amended for a March 23rd, 2026 special town meeting starting at 7 p.m. At the Clayton B. Huntley Junior Fire Station and send notice to Michael Titus and inform the inhabitants of the town of Newcastle of said meeting. Yes, that's the. Okay.
Second. You made that motion.
I did.
Thank you.
I mean, is there any other information or is it pretty clear? If you're looking through records and say. Here's the February 9th meeting for this warrant, what happened? It never got voted on. And it was, is it clear? Or does it matter?
It's now in the top page of the agenda packet.
Okay,
That is your link to this.
okay,
Includes note special town meeting was canceled due to weather.
okay.
And it will be recorded in the minutes.
Okay.
And that's really the documentation that formalizes this.
That's all I'm
Yep.
getting at. So set the one for March 23rd as amended. et cetera, as Karen had said. Yep. Who made the second? Ben? Any discussion further?
No, I guess the interlocal, well, it did go out to the list, but the interlocal will be somewhere else for people to look at if they want to.
Yeah, it'll be in town hall along with, yes, along with their documentation of tax
Okay,
or bonds.
just not necessarily this, but in general, interlocals. What makes one interlocal require townwide approval versus us approving an interlocal?
The way the state statute is framed, the interlocal agreement is a decision of the legislative body. In the case of Newcastle, we don't have a town charter, we don't have anything that says it's a council or it's a other form in which an interlocal agreement gets approved through the charter. This is the form we have to take. However, if the interlocal agreement had specific language about how and when amendments to it could be done,
Mhm.
it could say something like the select boards of the town could approve amendments to the interlocal agreement. And as we're drafting or considering drafting an interlocal agreement about a public works department, there are thresholds at which it is the select boards versus that of the full communities through their legislative body. So it is a decision within the interlocal agreement to do that.
So, fish ladder.
Fish ladder is an interlocal agreement that, oh, probably should have been approved by the two communities.
It just came to my mind is, do we need to put that out there then?
Yeah, we do.
So we have to change this again?
No, we don't have to change this one.
No, not, I mean, could add it onto the
The fish
the
ladder.
list,
Oh, I'm not gonna worry about it for
okay,
the March
23rd,
23rd. We'll address it as part of the annual town meeting
okay.
easily enough. Yeah, and I'll mention, honestly, I don't believe, and I can't find proof of it, but I don't think this original interlocal agreement was done through legislative body.
It was not.
In Newcastle.
It was not.
Yeah.
I pulled up the minutes from the meeting when we approved it.
Yeah, I was digging, trying to find it, and it did not get done that way.
No.
Yeah,
Wait, it didn't originally go to town meeting?
Nope.
nope,
The CLC ambulance one? No.
not at least the agreement that this is being modified. The version you have here that's modified from the version before was never approved by Newcastle legislative body.
Because that was just what, 3 years ago when.
2022.
22, yeah.
Yep.
Ew, it's 4 years ago.
I was gonna say, I wasn't here for that.
So, yeah.
Neither was I.
I was, that's 3 more.
No, we'll deal
All
with
you
it.
can do is make it right.
Yep.
I mean, it's the
Okay.
fun part about learning.
Yeah.
This process, and this came to us, and I was wondering, what is the process, and doing some digging.
Yeah, because I think that the towns are probably 50-50 on the ones that had the select boards approve it versus ones that went to the town.
Well, we've worked in concert with all of the other administrative staff from all of the different towns to make sure that this is done through
Everybody's doing the same.
either a special town meeting in March, or 3 towns actually have their annual town meeting in March.
Right.
So those are getting addressed at that time.
Okay, good.
So all of this will be done for March.
Good.
Think you good?
Mhm.
Anybody else? All right, let's take a vote. All those in favor? Motion passes 5 members. Okay, item 7A, fiscal warrant, AP warrant. For 2026 for $450,310.83.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion.
No, just all these big ones are always school related.
School.
Yep.
No more discussion? All those in favor?
Yep.
Motion passes. Unanimous and Kevin, do you want to go through your manager's report on this things?
Sure. Nomination papers will be available this Thursday. There are 2 seats on this board for a 3-year term. There's 1 seat for the school board for a 3-year term, and 1 seat on the Great Salt Bay Sanitary District trustee for a 2-year term. Papers will be available Thursday at the town office, and the deadline for filing is April 13th. No later than 4:30. All this information you can find on the website. Another item was last week we did 2 sessions of our Newcastle Downtown Village Public Outreach events. We had an in-person and a virtual. There are links here to the results from those conversations. Intend to do a lot more. We just wanted to get something quick back out to folks and invite them to attend our March 10th or March 12th events at Lincoln Academy. The next topic is going to build on the prior session and zero in on housing. There's a link to learn more about what we're up to. Intend to do a lot more push. We really would like to see a greater turnout. We had about, between the 2 events, we had about 35 residents attend, so it's a good start, but I really want to build on that. Really want to build on it.
Was there much overlap between the 2 meetings?
No,
No,
no, no,
None. Oh,
no.
Awesome.
Everyone who attended the in-person knew that the same topic was gonna be
Okay.
done for, so. We haven't compiled the 2 data events that we collected from those conversations into one, but they're both out there and available to review. There's a transportation survey that the Mid-Coast Council of Governments has launched. They're doing a survey to look at the needs and interests around the region. So a regional transportation feasibility study for transit. The goal is to better understand how residents travel today and what would make public transportation a realistic option in the future.
wait, I can tell them it's by car,
It's a lot of car. You can tell them by car.
by car.
Sure. There's it's like
I
a
will.
5-minute survey link there to check that out. I went through it myself. It took about 5 minutes.
Okay,
And explaining that I go to Rockland from my house to Rockland to here, take my kid, yeah, it's gonna be hard to find public buses for me, routes to do that.
yeah,
Is, just helpful information.
just put Rex on a bike.
Put him on bus. You don't even
I
have
was
to be
thinking
part of it.
I was thinking about him figuring out how to teleport, but,
Catapult.
so we have 2 RFPs out right now, one for self-containing breathing apparatus. Remember that nice big grant we got? We're trying to get 17 open circuit self-containing breathing apparatus related components. There's a link to the full request. The due date for submission is, I think, this Friday at noon. And of course, that's the day when the office isn't closed. So I will be there from 9 in the morning until noon with the door open in case I get any other submissions. We've received 1 today, hopefully another 1 or 2 come in. And then we also have an RFP out in collaboration with Damerscotta on the first responder housing development consulting services. That was the initial one that Andy and I had applied for through the DECD. We didn't hear about for almost a year because of their staffing challenges. So we got that after we got the ARPA funds to work on the property on Mills Road. So this is another grant to look at potentially any kind of expansion here to address housing and or our town office. So I'm hopeful to see out of that one. The budget workshop, our next one is tomorrow, so I don't want to be here too much longer. There's a link to the workshop agenda. The Maine CDC sent us an email about measles in Maine. There are 5 cases. They're all connected to one another, so it's not technically an outbreak, but just they wanted to push this information out and make sure people realize it's very contagious and practice safe,
Get a vaccine,
get a vaccine. You could say that.
I can say that.
The next item I had is back in December, I asked if it would be okay if I self-nominate for the Development Ready Advisory Committee. I've been appointed, so I'll be serving on that committee. It was established within the main office of Community Affairs. And it'll give Newcastle a chance to represent municipalities across the state as we collectively look to support sustainable community development. So I'm excited about that opportunity. And it's not a huge commitment. I think it's like 4 meetings a year and a couple of probably serve on the subcommittee. And then speaking of BOCA, main office of Community Affairs, there's a housing opportunity program. Because there are now several more state legislative laws that have been passed that affect our ordinances. There's money available for us, $15,000 to address those modifications to our ordinances. And what's nice is that we're gonna ask for the full 15,000. I'm not sure we need 15,000 to do the ordinance revisions. But that money is also allowed to be used for other housing related ordinance revisions, community guidance, community housing planning activities and housing related education sessions. So some of the, if we continue on this community outreach effort, this is a good way to help support that financially. So I hope we can address other potential changes in ordinances related to this on behalf of that housing legislation. So the summer intern summer intern program. We're gonna partner with Damerscotta to bring in an intern and share that position for this summer. Our primary goal is to do a full analysis of all of our public infrastructure, culverts, update our roads, RSMS data, GPS track where our culverts are, identify the miles of ditching we really need to do, because that will really help determine either our own public works work plan for ditching and summer work, or a joint department with Damerscotta. So it's a good baseline to have available, and it'd be good to use that intern for that purpose. There are more reports within the inspection reports for Lynch Road. So please take a look at that link. Most recently, they ended up having to excavate a little deeper, so there's a little more cost associated with digging deeper. There's one area where they couldn't even get to the bedrock, but close enough that they decided to, or with the engineers, obviously, and the geotechnical consultants, they're vibrating stone into that section to shore it up. So there's a little extra stone cost. They estimate we'll probably have $65,000 of additional expenses related to this. And remind you that we did have a contingency of 15%. So we have about $190,000. 65 of that is kind of earmarked now. The rest of this is the biggest unknown. So I don't expect a lot of additional costs related to this project, because everything else is pretty much cookie cutter. So those unknowns have been addressed, and hopefully we'll still have that other 130,000 in the bank.
Took a ride down there just to look at it on Sunday, figured nobody knew around it. Have you ever looked at a project and said, boy, I'm glad that's not mine?
Oh. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, anyhow,
Yeah.
the pumps were running and
Yeah.
they're certainly making headway, but
They have really struggled with keeping the water out.
Yeah.
It seeps out from underneath,
Yeah.
so they've really struggled with that. And the movement of that water is so strong that they've really struggled to keep the coffer dams from being overtaken, so
yeah, no, it's certainly a impressive
Mhm.
project.
it is.
Question. When did we open bids on this?
For this project,
Yeah.
back in August,
Okay. It was after the tariff,
or September.
after this.
Oh, yeah.
But they might have not have accounted. Is there anything in there?
There's no mention of
No
the,
mention. Okay.
no. I think they were able to secure it without having that concern.
Yeah, it would only probably be on the steel.
The steel would have been the issue.
Yeah.
I think they may have accounted for that as part of this, so. And then just the last thing, Lincoln County Regional Planning Commission is partnered with the Maine Tourism Association to host a informational workshop on tourism, hospitality, and restaurant workforce development. That's March 12th from 10 to 11 at their location in on Bath Road in Wiscasset. That's really for the community that you know, not something the board needs to go to, but I want the businesses in our community to know about this event. And there's more information in my report on that. So that's it. Already gone way over your 15 minutes.
All right, great. That objection motion or meeting adjourned at what is it, 7:24?
Yep.
Great.
Wow,
Our meeting,
nice job, everybody.
well, because we get a couple hours.